Hello all and welcome back to the Third Life Crisis podcast. This is the 1 hour show where I, Austin, sit down with my partners in crime and discuss any and everything as we navigate adulting and living in our 30s. You can find this lovely show anywhere you listen to podcasts. Just search Third Life Crisis. After a brief hiatus, we are back on the grind of recording. We are also planning on making a few tweaks to the show and process to give you a more consistent, entertaining podcast. So, bear with us as we knock off the cobwebs and shake off the rust and record this new episode number 46. But of course, as always, let me first introduce my amazing co-host. With me in North Texas is Cassie, aka Dr. Sleep. And in South Texas is John, aka Hacker Extraordinaire. How are we doing today, guys?
Hey, what's up?
I would like to address you making promises to listeners that we're going to be consistent. Is that what you're saying?
I discussed it with y'all. I think we need to put out an episode every week. And if that means that we can't all get together on one day, if it's just me and you or me and John, then we record a little, 20, 30-minute episode and try to put that out still.
I think a lot of things. I'm just saying.
All right, so we got a game plan. Let's see if this one sticks.
Let's see if this game plan turns out to be like the Patriots or the Cleveland Browns.
Nobody gets that reference because nobody watches football.
Oh. John is Baker Mayfield in this situation.
Oh, God. That's not good. Not good.
I'll be Odell and Cassie can be Chubb.
I'm sorry, everybody. I know. No idea what's going on. Absolutely no idea.
So, how's everyone doing? Been away for a while.
Been away for, what is it? The last recording was done in September. And what's today's date? I don't even know what today is.
November 13th.
December.
By the time it comes out, y'all didn't calculate for the month it's going to take to get this episode out.
Oh, yeah.
December 13th.
That's another new thing. I will now be editing the podcast, so,
Dang.
So they should go up in quality because I've been doing all the editing thus far. But, having a
insert a lot of jokes.
He just records himself chilling jokes. His own stand-up on the side.
Welcome to the Austin Hour. Every week, I rail against John and Cassandra, what I don't like about them. Thank you for joining me.
I'd listen to that.
Yeah, who knew, adulting in your 30s could get busy and just can't find time to record anymore,
I take full responsibility. I mean, this is 100% my fault. Like, 100%.
I disagree.
Because it took me... I started recording the last episode, which we recorded in September, like, last Saturday, and I was done on Sunday. And I feel like it didn't take that long. So I don't know I have to apologize. I don't know.
No, I've been really busy with school and, everything around the house. Just not, yeah. I also take responsibility. Austin, though, of course, will say he's blameless in this situation. Watch.
I've been busy, too. Just being awesome, slaying it.
Slaying it.
As one does in the fall time. I come alive in the fall time,
Mm-hmm.
Preach the weekend. No, yeah, we've just been super busy with, little baby for John.
What have you been busy with?
Me? I just said. Busy over here. But yeah, hopefully we get some tweaks going. We get some new things going, and we can try to have a consistent show here for everybody, for all our one listener.
No, we have a few. We have quite a few.
Thank you, one listener. I appreciate.
We thank you. You help pay
Just
the bills.
know. What? No, they do not.
No, they do not. All right, so this episode is going to be, like I said, shaking off the rust. Haven't hosted in a while, and, we just have some random topics here just to catch everyone up of what we've been doing lately.
Let's not do what we've been doing lately, though.
All right.
That's the whole podcast.
That's fine. Let's start off with Disney Plus then. How about that?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it.
What it had, like over 10 million subscribers as of today, November 13th.
That's what I like about you, Austin, is that you actually looked up any of this information.
No, someone sent this to me. John? Somebody?
Oh, okay, great. Thank you.
I just remember the number. And if not, whatever. So people will believe me.
I literally turn on my computer and someone starts throwing these facts at me, and I'm just like commentating on the side over here. So, thank you.
We do not have a fact checker. No idea if this is accurate.
We do not. But it's a good number. It's a good round number. 10 million.
I saw it on Daily Mail. Daily Mail. That's why I saw the article.
Fake news. But yeah, so Disney Plus dropped yesterday, November 12th, on a Tuesday. Had the club going up. Thank you. Knew where I was going. And yeah, everyone went crazy. It has new Star Wars show, which is what I'm, a fan of. But then it has all your favorite nostalgia from even last decade, 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s, 40s, 20s. I mean, you can really search by the decade and see, Steamboat Willie up there. Steamboat Willie? Steamboat Wookie? Whatever.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. What are your thoughts on so that's new streaming service out right now. I mean, at what point are y'all, us, everyone, people, adulting, at what point are we just going to have so many streaming services that it's going to be the same bill as we would be paying if we had cable or satellite? Like, what's your threshold? 2 streaming services, 3, 4?
We currently have 2.
We're up to 3 now, yeah?
Yes. What 2 do you have, John?
Netflix and now Disney Plus. However, Disney Plus is free with that Verizon promotion. So, as long maybe this is a different way to answer it because I'm not paying for 2. Mm-hmm.
Well, same thing for us too. I looked at it today, and because we have Hulu already, we should receive a $5 credit on our Hulu bill every month. So I guess technically we also aren't paying for Disney Plus.
There you go. That's how you do it.
That's how they rope you in, and then when you just can't stop watching, and then cut you off. What are you in, 2-year contract, John?
So
how long is yours?
So we get a year free, and then as soon as the year is up, Verizon is going to start charging us, not Disney Plus. Or
gotcha.
The $6.99 is going to be through my Verizon bill.
Right, and and that's funny because that's how it's going to work with Hulu. It's not being built through Disney. I guess if you're just getting Disney Plus as a standalone, you get charged through Disney. But all these other bundles and things, you're being charged through the other service, not Disney.
Yeah,
which
Disney just has everyone pimping for them, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Disney just has everyone working for them.
It's smart. I mean, Disney gets its app and streaming service in the most hands as it can.
Seamless.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do y'all think? I mean, it's only been out for a day, so any thoughts?
I mean, we don't have Apple TV or any of those other ones. What is it? Amazon Prime. What else is there?
You understand? You understand? Apple TV is not the same thing as Amazon Prime, right?
That's what I'm saying. We don't have those,
right?
So I don't know what I'm missing out on those. And I just started getting back into Netflix. We probably could have canceled it.
There's no way. There's no way we can cancel it now. Cassie has been on a binge bender for a while now, guys. It's time to have a meeting here.
It's probably been about 3 months.
Time to have an intervention here.
Yeah.
She has binged a lot of shows recently.
Nah. We won't get into Cassie. So going back to shows, there are some commercials I've seen. I'm like, oh, that looks like a good show, and then it's on some platform that we don't have, and I'm like, well, it doesn't look that good to go out and buy it.
Yeah, I mean, John, do you watch TV? Do you follow TV shows? Do you have a show you watch every week or something?
We do have cable, and the only reason we have cable is for NFL games. I don't want to watch it on a tablet or something. But other than that, we watch American Horror Story, which is, I think, the finale's tonight. That's about it. I mean, Jess watches her E! I'll go to ESPN every now and then, but I'm actually just watching Netflix a lot. And now Disney Plus. I've been watching that a lot.
Anything good?
A lot lately. Yeah. I mean, the first thing I did watch was Endgame. and
nice.
then I watched we watched Ratatouille, and then we watched The Mandalorian. And when I say we, me and the baby.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the babes.
You mean our new segment, Juliet's movie review?
It's just gonna be her. Just
how many fists does she give it?
1 or 2. I saw the documentary Free Solo or something, or Solo Free, or it's the rock climbing one.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be really good. Was it good?
Yeah, the shots are pretty good. There's something else we saw. Oh, we showed her Winnie the Pooh last night. That was a big win. So she has no idea what's going on, but she was like, her face was glued to the TV.
Nice.
All the colors, but yeah, we're taking advantage of it. I did see all the old, Disney Vault video or movies come out, and it's cool to see that. Jessica's sister, Stephanie, has been wanting to watch the Aristocats, and she said she can't find that anywhere. But lo and behold, right, it's on Disney Plus, so it's kind of cool to see all that. And hopefully when Juliet gets older, she'll start watching more of the different princess ones, Snow White, Cinderella, all those.
There's an article I saw today about Disney Plus and the, not warnings, but just parental advisory or just guide when you bring up movies like The Aristocats, like Dumbo.
I did see one for Little Mermaid, but go ahead.
So Little Mermaid, it had like a tobacco use, right? Because whatever. There's tobacco use in Little Mermaid. But apparently for Aristocats, Dumbo, these older ones, it brings up something. I wish I could find it. I can't find it now. But something to the fact of like, this was shot at a different time. The views here are not held by Disney. Like, times have changed.
That's crazy they have to say that. That means there's a lot of sensitive people now in the world who will find it offensive, probably.
Well, I think, because they could have gone two routes. I think they either say this and somehow, I guess, get ahead of it, or they just cut the scenes out. Like, I think those are your two options if you're going to put something on here that was from the 40s or 50s that has whatever it has in it. I mean, I think it's interesting that they went this route and have that paragraph message play before the movie.
Kids can't read.
But it's true. It's just interesting. I mean, it's just something that I would not have thought of. Bringing all these.
How much could you cut out?
Well, speaking of cut out, did you see it? I tagged you in that Simpsons thing. Simpsons already could be controversial, but they took out that Michael Jackson episode altogether. Like, it's not on this streaming service at all. That episode does not exist in this streaming platform. Disney doesn't want any part of it.
Can't erase history. That's what you produced and put out. I know.
Well, they didn't produce Simpsons.
So what is Disney's affiliation? Did they buy it? They bought Simpsons out?
They bought Fox. Disney bought everything from Fox except Fox News. So that's Simpsons, Alien, Predator, all these movies, all these TV shows. They bought Fox.
I feel like we've talked about this too, right?
Right. And so, I mean, again, we talked about, at least like my opinion of like a slippery slope, if you're going to ban that one episode because Michael Jackson was accused of something and was never convicted. I mean, there's a bunch of other people and stars that Simpsons has had on their episodes that have done stuff and been convicted of it, but we're not playing those episodes. So, I mean, that's been in one of our past episodes, so we don't have to go over again. But
Disney Plus is the product of all those purchases it made. All those companies.
Right.
So. Yeah. I've only seen The Mandalorian. I thought it was good. It doesn't have the special effects that I would hope it would have had, but I mean, I get it. It's a streaming service, so I'm fine with it. I'm just in it to learn more of the lore and that universe of Star Wars. I'm excited for a few other shows that are coming out in December and January. But other than that, I think Cassie and I, we get usually like a week off or a week and a half off from work during Christmas and New Year's. So I'm excited. Hopefully I can go back and watch like the original X-Men from the 90s and Gargoyles with Disney Plus.
Yeah, I was looking at all those Marvel throwbacks, the Spider-Man and all those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this won't have This won't have the Homecoming or Far From Home, since that's
because Sony's.
That's still Sony. And in fact, a coworker asked me today, and I have not checked, so I'm looking this up now. And it does not have the Hulk movie. So it looks like if the but it has Iron Man, doesn't it?
Yes, it has all 3 Iron Man.
So I guess I don't know. I know Hulk is produced and distributed by Universal, and they still have the rights for certain things. So it's not going to have everything from Marvel, but it looks to have pretty much everything you would want. It just sucks that it's missing that one Hulk movie. Because, not that it's a great movie, but if you ever wanted to go back and watch the Endgame saga, that would be the one movie left out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm excited. We'll stick with Hulu and Disney Plus. And I really don't watch Netflix, but Cassie, like I said, a binge monster over here.
No, it's fine.
We'll stick with Netflix.
10 million, dude. That's crazy. 10 million in the first day.
Right.
That is crazy.
Yeah. And I know they had some issues with, like, the site going down.
Yeah, I was a part of that. I'm sure a lot of people were.
Yeah.
But
I got up early enough and watched it and had no issues. It was good. It's working now. Everyone's been able to watch what they want to watch, so we're good. All right, so let's see what else we got.
Wait. Before we continue, just on the Disney Plus topic.
We moved on.
Oh, shit.
What's up?
What profile avatars did y'all choose? Because there's a ton. Which one did y'all pick?
I picked Chewbacca.
I picked Belle.
I picked Iron Man.
Surprise.
Well,
I'm just curious. I like that. I like that customization.
That is really cool. Like, it's a subtle touch, but that's cool.
I saw screenshots on Twitter and like families. I think you could have up to 6. It's cool to see. It was like a mom profile. It said mom, dad, and it had the kids' names, and each of them had their own profile with their avatar picture or whatever.
Disney has all these characters that you're not gonna be able to get that profile pic with Netflix or Hulu or Sling or
Yeah.
So it's cool. Let's see what else.
Now we can move on.
I mean, we haven't done anything exciting, guys, in the past couple months since we've been off the air. Halloween happened. Everyone loves Halloween. That was a thing.
Did y'all dress up? I know y'all gave out candy,
Nope.
but no.
No, we did not.
And this was y'all's year being at the house, right?
We were here last year, but we weren't fully moved in.
Because I remember last year you said y'all forgot the candy. What happened with the candy last year?
You have to go back and listen to the episode. I'm just kidding.
We had candy, but we left it at the apartment, and we didn't think it was a big. We didn't think it was a big deal to leave it at the apartment because it was cold and raining, and we figured we weren't going to get anybody. And then people showed up, so we started giving away beef jerky and pistachios.
So this year was better.
This year we were prepared. We bought candy bars, full candy bars to pass out, and then Cassie had a great idea of getting Play-Doh to pass out as well. And the kids lost their shit for the Play-Doh.
They're so cute. They're kind of picky on the candy. Jeez. They're like rummaging through my candy. I'm like, just pick one. I don't understand.
You let them pick? You don't put it in there? That's not how you do it. You have to just throw it in there.
We only had 15 people stop by, so it was real slow. So we let them pick.
We bought 56 bars, full bars of candy.
Let them pick the color of Play-Doh. We had the time.
You really only had about 15
Really?
people?
I asked my neighbor, and they were like, we have a group chat, and they're like, oh, expect 30 to 50 people. I was like, oh, damn, we got to buy some more. Like, we went out and bought more candy because I was like, for sure, we're going to run out. 15 people.
They're probably just poking fun at you. Look at the newcomers on the block.
Well, no, last year we didn't get 50, but last year I felt we got like in the 20s. And so this year it was very cold up here, but it wasn't raining, so I figured, we'll get people. But by the end of the night, the few kids that were coming, I guess they had heard, they're like, oh yeah, this is the house that has the full candy bars.
So now you got to do it again next year. Build your reputation.
Mm-hmm. Got even more Play-Doh. Actually, yeah, we already bought 2 bags of Play-Doh for next year.
They were on sale. They were 50 cents. I was so excited.
So we got that ready, good to go. But that was it. Gave out some candy. I had Halloween, the new one that just came out, playing on the TV. Cassie was doing homework.
Trying.
And yeah, that was our Halloween. What'd y'all do?
Not like John and Jessica. How many kids did y'all see?
No, we spent it at, hundreds. We spent it at Cassie's hometown, Somerset. Go Bulldogs. And Jessica's from there too. So her parents went to their parents' house, and this is my, I guess, third time doing this with her. And the past 3 years, or the past 2 years, we always run out of candy. And we kind of end the night early. And there's still a bunch of kids going up and down. Like, they come by, like, the trailer load. Like, a truck will come with a trailer full of kids in the back. They'll park, and those kids will start walking up and down the street. And then another trailer of kids will come. You know, it's constant. Golf carts, everything. Anyway, so I bought a lot of candy. Her dad always buys candy. And then my mom and sister wanted to join this year to be there for Juliet's first Halloween. So they brought candy. So we were actually out there a lot longer than I've ever been out there. And it was cool to see all the kids' costumes and whatnot. I didn't see a theme. Usually there's like a theme. I don't know if you like that first. Well, yeah, there's always clowns. But like I feel like there's always a theme. Like
you didn't see a lot of like Marvel?
No.
I'm just trying to think what was the big movie this year, you know?
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I didn't really see that. I saw a lot of that dinosaur, that bobblehead dinosaur. That people, it's like a bodysuit, and then
yeah.
They run around in the T-Rex.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't really see anything specific. Jess dressed up me and the baby and herself as Starbucks characters, employees, which me and Jessica were baristas. So real simple, just a black apron and a hat, and we printed off a Starbucks picture, and then she made Juliet into a coffee, and y'all saw
a little latte.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of coffee.
Iced.
Yeah.
She got that ice in her veins.
Yeah, dude. Attitude. Maybe we'll post a picture. But it was fun. It was fun to dress up. I don't know what she was going to be. I don't know what other options there were. She just kind of just decided this is what it was going to be.
Yeah, enjoy while they're still little and you could still decide for them.
Yeah. But it was good. It was a good Halloween. Good first Halloween. She didn't go outside at all because it was really cold. So she actually stayed inside. But it was cool just being with everybody.
So at what age do you think you're too old to go trick-or-treating?
I saw some kids in high school.
Oh, so I heard this come up a lot this year. It was the whole, let's move Halloween to the weekend. And then I saw like reports of like people refusing to give candy to kids because they were too old.
I don't think you should ever refuse candy. You should just probably...
If they made the effort to dress up, and go knock on and ask for candy, why not?
But we saw some high school kids wearing their Lettermans and stuff.
I think it's fine. I don't care. We didn't get any older kids. I'm just saying, like I just saw like that was a big thing going around the sites. Probably
after junior year, you're probably taking your little cousin or little sibling. I don't think a junior in high school would be, that's where I would draw the line.
Right.
How old are you when you were a junior? Like 15, 16, no, 17, 16, 17?
17. No, 16, because I would have been 16 for Halloween. About to turn 17.
Yeah, there you go. See, you would have been okay if it was 1 month later.
I just made it, guys. All right. Well, that was Halloween. What else we got here? Earlier that month, Cassie and I went somewhere that was interesting. It was fun.
It was weird. It was very strange, I'm sure.
It was out of this world. Cassie and I went to AlienCon in Dallas, Texas. Tejas.
Not to be confused with Comic-Con.
Correct.
Or any other cons you come across.
I con y'all every
Correct.
day. I'm just kidding.
You hustling me?
I'm hustling you.
Yeah, we went to AlienCon, which is a convention that is put on by the producers and hosts that star in Ancient Aliens on the History Channel.
I know what you're thinking. Why? This thing was sold out.
You're lucky you got in, is what I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we went. My dad wanted to go. We watch Ancient Aliens. We watch, I don't know, whatever random shows on History Channel here and there. Everyone knows the guy with the hair. George Tsoukalos is his name.
I did not know he was from that show. I've seen him in a meme.
Oh, yeah, that memes, yeah.
Looking like he's high or something.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that was him.
Yeah, so, he's at this point, he's a producer of the show now. it's Ancient Aliens. It's a convention where people are talking about aliens and all this stuff, right? So we go. It's a very small convention, and not that we've been to big conventions, but it's probably the smallest one we've been to. They have their breakout sessions where they'll have different rooms, and each room they're talking about something different. They have a floor where they have the exhibitors selling their stuff. But yeah, we get there and we kind of split up. My mom and I went to a few sessions, and then Cassie and my dad went to other sessions. I'll start with my session first, and then Cassie can say hers.
Oh, I don't remember all of mine, but go ahead, sorry.
Well, I'm just saying, your first one is the main one.
Okay.
So my first one was about like physics and stuff. The person that was presenting is an actual PhD, and he was basically just talking about quantum physics. And when you get to that small, if you believe it's God, if you believe it's aliens, if you believe whatever it is, like, that's fine. More power to you if that's what you believe. Like, we don't fully understand all this stuff anyways, but, we're getting there with science. But if that's what you believe, then, it's fine. And so I thought it was very interesting. It was cool to learn about that and to get that perspective. Very level-headed, a normal session. Cassie, on the other hand, I'll let her take it away from here.
And I don't remember what the exact title was. It was like Alien Encounters, I believe. And so it was very interesting. I will say before I get into that, when we walked around the exhibit, there's a lot of weird crystals and like just copper, like just random stuff that they're selling. But the conversations that they were having, it was just, you would think those people who are like conspiracy theorists are not real. They're really there, and they really believe and talk about this stuff like a normal conversation like me and you would have. So to me, that was pretty eye-opening. But the alien encounters, I thought that would be more interesting than whatever type of physics that Austin went and saw. So I was like, we're definitely going to this one. And the whole room was packed. There was, it had to have been hundreds of people, and there barely any seats left. And so they had a panel, and everybody there who went, they're obviously into this stuff, so they knew about these people and about the types of work that they did. But I was totally lost. I didn't know who these people were or what their background was or anything like that. So that was mistake number one, right? Like, I didn't brush up on any of this. And then when they start getting into the conversations, it was almost as if they were speaking a different language. I had no idea what they were saying. Like, there was a few parts in there where it was like, oh, like simple, like, okay, how many people have seen an alien? And you had people, like a majority of the room raise their hand. Okay, how many people have had encounters or touched aliens? And like less hands come up. And then you have these people who are just, and I don't even remember what the words they were saying, but it was just something that totally I had no idea what they were saying, made absolutely no sense to me, but people were just in it. They were so in it. They believed everything, and I believe that they believe. And then they like the way the moderator would talk. He's like, this is the biggest blah blah blah, convention. People believe us now. There's proof out there. We're not just crazy anymore. People are looking at us. Like, it was very much like the hype. Like, this is real now. We're known now. It's not, I don't know. It was just very interesting to me. But I had fun. It was again, it was weird.
So people thought that they were actually abducted. Some people. That
they encountered, whether they were like come in contact or talked or maybe abducted. But yeah. And it was.
So that was her session.
So it was just. It was like going into the consciousness of something. Like, it was just like this random stuff. And they're like, well, how do you know what type of... And they started like talking about different types of alien and encounters. And I'm like, what? How do people know this? Like, how is anyone following any of this? But people were into it. There's people taking notes. Like, if they were in class, like just writing down stuff, because I was just like, what is going on? It was just very strange for me.
Yeah. And every session I was in, people were like taking notes, like vigorously just writing down everything that these people were saying. So that was crazy. And then the next session we went to was about Stonehenge, so that was its own thing.
What's that episode in King of the Hill when they go to the Marfa lights?
Yeah, you got half a mayonnaise jar?
Were they selling like alien piss there or alien urine?
No. It's alien urine. He's like, how much for that alien urine? Half a man. How much is that alien urine? And the guy says half a mayonnaise jar because that's how much he has in it. And then Dale asks Hank for half a mayonnaise jar. Oh man!
But were they selling stuff like that?
No.
Yeah, dude, they were selling.
Not alien urine. They were
no. But there were some like crystals, geodes, little copper pyramids.
I wanted one of those. Those look cool.
I'm a fan of Ancient Aliens. I love to watch those type of shows. I see them the same as like televangelists, where it's like, man, they're just talking about all this stuff and they believe it and they're selling you on it. I love that type of, like, just to watch it, right? But I don't watch it like that closely. So the main guy, George Tsoukalos, the one with the hair,
Aliens.
In all the episodes, he wears a necklace. I've never caught on to this, never seen it, never paid attention. He's selling that necklace like a replica for like $300.
And there's a line in his booth. A line. People buying all of this jewelry from him.
He was charging, I forgot how much, just to take a photo with him. Like, $70. It was insane.
$70.
To take a photo with him.
Damn.
So we did that. Then we left to go have some lunch. We came back.
We thought we saw somebody.
We went to the Ghost Hunter set. We thought we saw the Ghost Hunter people. The Ghost Hunter people were there.
No, there wasn't them.
Oh.
No, I know. No, I'm saying no, but they were there. We went to the session with them.
Yes, we did.
We thought we saw them at lunch.
We didn't even watch the show, so we didn't know what they look like. People who were wearing the same lanyard as us, they were going up to them and they're like, "Oh, we love you," blah blah blah. You know, like they were so into it. We're like, I guess that's the Ghost Hunter people. And then the real Ghost Hunter people come out at the panel and we're like, "Oh, that wasn't them."
We did see some people with tinfoil hats on.
Like to be funny?
Yeah, they were to be funny.
Or they legit were scared?
No, it was to be funny. But again, we did see a lot of people taking notes. Like, had a tablet, had their journal, and was just writing, like non-stop writing. Almost if they were like taking like a transcript or something, or transcribing what everyone was saying. But it was fun. I got some cool AlienCon socks.
It was sold out, and people were coming from all across the country to attend that one.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was early October. Other than that, I mean, that's pretty much it. John, you want to give us any updates on having a baby?
Yeah, the baby's doing good. The last episode that's coming out, she was only 2 weeks old, and now she's 2 months old. When I was editing it this past weekend, just listening, to my mindset then, it was pretty interesting just to like hear, the sleep that we were not having, and the fact that she was gassy and all that stuff. Like I said, she's a gassy baby a lot.
You did.
I caught on to that. Yeah.
At 2 weeks old, that's what was probably causing her to be colicky. But since then, we have somewhat of a schedule now. She sleeps through the night. She's taking drops for the colickiness that helps with the gas. We've been through a lot, so she's kind of cool now. She's starting to smile more and slowly moving her head, and she's starting to, I guess, hold on to stuff a little longer. She's fatter. That's about it. She's not really doing too much fun things yet, but yeah, that's the update.
All right. Well, thank you. The people enjoy it?
Yes, I do.
I know we did bring this up. We were texting each other earlier today, and it was making the rounds of, the decade's about to end on, what would we call this? The teens? I don't know, whatever.
The decade's about, the 2010 to 2000.
Yeah, and the tweet was making its rounds of like, what have you accomplished this decade? So I know I texted that to y'all to see, do we want to discuss what we've accomplished this decade? The decade prior to our third life crisis.
I feel like accomplish is a big word. Like
10 years ago,
I barely scraping by. Barely keeping myself alive.
So I just turned 20 10 years ago, and you guys had just turned
20.
Well, Austin will be what?
10 years ago today, I would be 3 days away from my 21st birthday.
Do you remember that day? That was fun.
My 21st birthday?
Yeah. Oh, no, that was a different birthday.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah.
I wasn't.
No.
I didn't do anything for your 21st birthday, did we? Who cares? Okay,
what?
I'm sorry.
How old was I the first year of college? 19, right? I turned 19.
I don't know, yeah.
No, 21st birthday, we didn't do anything.
Yeah, no, I didn't. We didn't do anything. I mean, you did. I didn't go.
I did, yeah. I went to Vegas.
Ah, that's what it was.
I went to Vegas with David. Yeah, I mean, that's not an accomplishment, though.
No, I was just curious, like, where we were 10 years ago.
Yeah, so I wrote down some stuff.
Oh, you prepared. Gotcha. Lay it on us.
Well, just because if you think about it, because I thought about it, I was like, I haven't accomplished anything.
Go ahead. What do you got? I'll follow your lead here.
So it starts from 2010 through 2019. In 2010, I beat Red Dead Redemption. Very, very proud of that accomplishment. It was a very good game.
Next.
Probably. All right. Well, it was a good game.
Next.
I got nothing for 2011.
All the way up until last year. From 2010 to 2019.
I beat one game. Thank you. Again, accomplishment. I mean, the traveling is not really an accomplishment, so that's what I got in 2012. I graduated undergrad, and then we moved to Fort Worth. 2014, graduated with my master's. We purchased our first vehicle. 2015 is when I started my full-time job, where I'm at now. 2018, we started this podcast.
That's an accomplishment.
Yeah, we got married, bought a house, and then this year I ran my first 5K since being in high school.
That is an accomplishment.
But that's pretty much. And then if you want to count weight loss, but that's pretty much it. I just thought about this on the fly, so I don't have too many examples.
I don't know what I was doing 10 years ago.
Sure you do.
What?
Let's think back.
I really don't. I feel like if I'm looking back at this last decade, I feel like 2010 to 13, 14 is like a blur. I was just floating around, you know?
Okay.
In this thing called life. And then 2015 is like kind of where I started. I think that's when me and Jess started dating.
Your life didn't start till you met Jessica. I love it.
No, I mean, that's what it feels like.
That's what it should feel like.
As far as accomplishments,
You're welcome.
It's probably this last year.
Jessica
Everything
said
kind
you're
of happened
welcome.
really fast. Oh, thank you. Planning a wedding to getting married. Same thing as you. To deciding we want to have a baby, but couldn't have a baby until we had a house, so I had to make the house happen somehow in that 9-month time span. So like I feel like accomplishments just happened that I would consider accomplishments, which is fine. You know, I made it.
Right.
I made it in the decade. Made this decade worth it.
I don't have anything else to add.
I would count the last few vacations we've been on as accomplishments, just because those past few, especially the ones since we've been up here, like we've paid for them ourselves. The accomplishment of getting married, planning that, paying for that, traveling out of the country, planning for that, paying for that, getting a house, planning for that, paying for that.
10 years ago, Cass, would you believe that you would have done all those things right now?
No, I would have never guessed 10 years ago that I would leave San Antonio. Not in a lifetime. I thought I would die, live, born, breathe, live, then die in San Antonio.
If anything,
dude,
you accomplish surprising yourself.
Sure, I can make stuff up.
Scraping the bottom here. Scraping the bottom here.
Someone has to do it.
Yeah. So in another 10 years, we'll be 40.
Oh, Lord. Let's not even think about that.
I have no idea what.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine? Your little girl would be 10 years old. What do you do with a 10-year-old?
Yeah. I don't know. I'll let you know in 10 years.
Goodness.
But overall, I think it's been a good decade. Had fun along the way. And hopefully everyone listening to this podcast has also had fun along the way. Thank y'all for listening. This has been episode 46. Hopefully listening to this episode has not felt like a decade. Kept it lively, kept it moving.
Yeah.
If we're done, shout out to Juliet having the best decade being born. Keep listening to us to hear more little Juliet stories. We are at Third Life Podcast. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. You can see exactly how we're surviving our third life crisis and how Juliet is surviving her third month crisis. If you like this episode, make sure to subscribe, rate, and leave a review on iTunes, Spotify, or actually, anywhere else you're listening to the podcast. If we're not somewhere that you that you want us to be, let us know. John can put us on there with his, AKA hacker extraordinaire. Didn't even get into that. Again, just search us to find us at 3RD Life Podcast. And be sure to follow us on our individual Twitter accounts at jmike2689, at Castle_Cassie, and at the Austin Luna. Other than that, it has been swell, guys. And everyone, keep shining on.
Bye. Push that? Do I push that?